So New Balance just wrapped up another successful year, and one of the standouts of the year continued to be the 2002R Protection Pack, or Refined Future Pack as some people call it. And it didn't matter the colorway, because when combined with that model, it seemed to work pretty much every single time. And now New Balance is seeing if they can bring that same design to another model, the 1906. And that's what we're going to be talking about in this video. My name is Josh, and I will be reviewing the New Balance 1906R Protection Pack. So here we go, the New Balance 1906R Protection Pack. Now these did drop in 4 colorways so far. It dropped in this black colorway, which probably is the cleanest out of the 4 to drop. We also had a turtle dove colorway, which had a nice cream upper combined with a black midsole. Also this reflection colorway, which actually is just a redesign of the OG 1906 colorway. And finally, my favorite of the colorways to drop so far, I have in my hands the Castlerock colorway. Now why are these my favorite? Well, it's pretty simple. It's gray. And absolutely no other colorway looks better on New Balance than gray. I didn't mind that black colorway as well. However, I do feel that the details of the protection pack, they do get lost a little bit in that black colorway. So far, all of these seem to have dropped on the New Balance USA website, and they have sold out from what I can tell. And they haven't dropped as of yet on New Balance Europe and other countries. However, they have released at some retailers. The retail price on these was 180 euros, which I gotta admit is a bit steep. I've said this in other reviews of the 1906. I do find the retail price on these to be a bit steep when compared to its predecessor, the 2002R, which retails anywhere between 130 to 150 depending on the materials and colorway. These retail for 180 even though it's pretty much the exact same cushioning technology. So both the midsole on this pair as well as the 2002R, they both have the exact same midsole. It comes from the New Balance 860 V2. There is a bit more additional technical features with this pair, such as the N-lock technology. You may notice that the lace loops on this sneaker actually go through the N logo, which not only do you notice visually, you actually also feel them quite a bit on feet. It does give you a very nice locked in feeling. When I first opened these up, I thought, wow, it's actually really nice to see some suede on the 1906, because so far, and pretty much every single review I've done on this sneaker, they've always featured mesh uppers. This is the first time I've seen the 1906 in a mainly suede upper, and it does, I think, work quite well. It looks really good, and I'm very pleased to say that the suede used on this pair is actually really nice. It reminds me a lot of the suede used on the original 3 colorways of the 2002R Protection Pack, a very nice and soft hairy suede. Some of the newer colorways of the 2002R Protection Pack, like for example this blue pair, the suede on these weren't actually as good as the original 3 colorways. But I'm happy to say that the suede they used on the 1906 Protection Pack is much closer to those original 3 2002R, so it's much more of a softer, nicer suede than these newer colorways of the 2002R. And when it comes to looks, I actually do think the protection pack concept does manage to work quite well on this shoe, and why wouldn't it? It's a very similar looking shoe to the 2002R. However, I do wish that they mixed up the color blocking a little bit better on this pair. And what I mean by that is, for example, when you look at the 2002R Refined Future Pack, it feels like there's almost random patches of color on the shoe and very uneven looking patches, which is what I think is visually the most appealing thing about the shoe. On this Castlerock colorway, you do see that there are a bit of differences in shades of gray on the pair among the suede patches. However, the mesh panels on the shoe, like on the toe box, it's very similar in color to some of the suede patches, so there's not as much contrast on the shoe, especially when you look at it from afar. It's even less or so on some of the other colorways, like on that turtle dove colorway and also the black pair, which I thought was a bit of a missed opportunity. I do really love how these shoes feel on feet though. If you've worn a pair of 2002R and thought that they were simply the most comfortable shoes you've ever worn, I've gone on record saying that the 2002R, for me at least, is an even more comfortable shoe than the 990 series. Then you will love this 1906R because they feel just as good, if not even better, than the 2002s do. I didn't mention that these shoes do have that N-lock technology, which does give it much more of a nice locked in feeling than the 2002s do. Incredibly comfortable shoes. As far as sizing go, just go with your true size. The same size you wear in 2002s, you'll fit the same in 1906s. To give you a bit bit of size reference, I do go true to size in these pairs, but when I compare it with a 990 V2 or a 990 V3, I could easily fit a half size down in those pairs. With these, however, you want to go true to size, especially if you are wide feet. You should be fine still going true to size. I don't think you need to go up half. Great comfort on these, really nice everyday shoe. Currently, just looking at resale prices of some of these colorways, it does sell for quite a bit above retail right now. I'm currently looking at European prices of the shoe now. I did mention that it hasn't even released on the New Balance website yet. I think once that happens, you can expect some of these prices to start coming down. But if you don't want to wait, it's not like these are going for absurd prices. So you can go ahead and cop. I will leave a couple of affiliate links in the description to help you guys do that. Overall, the New Balance 1906R protection pack, are these a cop or a drop? Now, don't get me wrong, guys. I do think this is a great looking shoe, especially in this Castlerock colorway. However, I have to say that it's starting to feel like this protection pack concept is getting a bit played out. I kind of wish that they just kept it on the 2002s, because I will say overall it does seem to look better on that model than on this. All four of these colorways that just dropped, they are pretty nice, but I still don't think any of them look as good as the 2002s. I can see why they decided to do it on the 1906. It is a very similar looking shoe. However, from an execution standpoint, I just think that that concept just seems to look a lot better on this OG model. But once again, let me know in the comments, what do you guys think? Because I have several colorways of these already, I'm probably gonna give these a drop. But as always, I wanna hear from you guys. What do you guys think down in the comments? Give me your thoughts on the 1906R protection pack. And thank you so much for watching the video. First video of the year. I'm very excited to be back in the studio. I was in Canada over the last 3 weeks, so I'm happy to be back in Germany filming content for you guys. Thank you guys so much for all the support. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.